What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of Mediazewtv. And in this video, we find Reggie Wright Jr. talking about Suge Knight choosing Tupac over Dr. Dre and the reasons why Dr. Dre left. Go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Let's go.
Yeah. Dr. Dre. Contrary to what y'all believe, I don't speak too bad on Dr. Dre too much. And the reason being, I don't have too much bad to say about Dre. Other than I wish he would have helped Suge out a little bit more than he would, but I get it. I understand why he doesn't. Dre, some people say got shot before by Suge. Y'all go listen to Corrupt story. I'll let that story stand on what the allegation is that where Corrupt said about Dre getting shot in the leg. I never saw any evidence of any tension like that between Dre and Suge. Dre wasn't the type of partner that was around all the time. But that was mainly because when I was around in '95, you know, from the Friday soundtrack and all of that, he was on house arrest. Dre had a couple of issues. He had a major where he took his Lamborghini or something, was racing down Sunset and was a little drunk. And I don't forget if he got a reckless driving or DUI case. And then he also had the issue with D. Barnes, where he slapped a female in Carter case. And so Dre was on house arrest and was wearing an ankle bracelet a lot. But he still was able to do some things. And Dre had his own studio. He wasn't one up there at Can-Am every day. He would come in and listen and give us final approval on things and decide whether or not to send it to him, which songs to send to him so he can start mixing down and mastering and add his touches to it. Y'all give him a bad rap as far as stealing people beats and ideals and all of that. If he put the word co-producer on there, then he ain't stole it. If he just put his name on it outright, then yeah. But there was people that worked up under him from Hutch, from the Brother Law, and Das and Laylaw and all of them, and later on Hitman and all of them. But in his mind, he put the final touches on it, and so he's the least entitled to a co-producer. Y'all know anything about the game, that's how it goes. Most of y'all artists now take half or 50% of the publishing from people that are not established. They'll be like, okay, that's a great song, that's this, but I'm going to add this, and this to it, and we're going to be co-producers or co-writers on this song. Y'all don't know that part of the game because people don't expose it because they just want to get in. But think about if you was in their position and you are being a struggling artist or producer right now, what would you do to get in? Pretty much anything to get in. And that's what happens. And that's where Dre gets a bad rap for. And so, but the question was about Suge and Dre and not so much Dre. I was just explaining what my opinion is about Dre. Dre and Suge had a great partnership and working relationship until, Pac, being who he is, brought up the situation of non-loyalty and started just expressing his displeasure of not Dre being around as much as he thought Dre was around. And was like, where's this dude at? And Dre was the type probably that didn't want Pac at his house. And Pac probably didn't want to go to his house. And so it wasn't the type of atmosphere that Pac probably envisioned from looking from the outside. And so he started speaking displeasure about that. And because that was the main reason he probably wanted to come and put his hot beats on some of Drake's hot tracks. But then, or not beats, his hot lyrics. But then he started noticing Dre not supporting, and he heard of the incident with the court situation with Snoop and not being supported by Dr. Dre during the court hearings. And, that had him upset. And then, now Suge got up under Michelle, and now she's telling a lot of different things about Dre saying, and Dre and Jimmy Iovine relationship and all of that. So Suge hearing all this, but he's still, and ain't mad because Suge's still in control. He's going controlling everything, but Dre would get his money. Dre would be able to call up Gelfand and get whatever he wanted as well. All his bills was getting paid for by Deathrow, and still would get a check for $125,000 a month, advance to get whatever done around his household and his family and people that he needed done. And so that's how their business relationship was. They would make appearances out in public here and there. A couple of times we went to New York, and I remember they had their girls with them, and they went down. We went to eat at a nice soul food restaurant. It wasn't like the ghetto one that everybody liked to go to in Harlem. It was an old lady, Aunt Kizzy's or Sophie, but it was a nice soul food restaurant. It was before the bar one. And we went out there and ate there. Then we all got on the horseback ride, the buggies, and took that and rolled around Central Park and, Central East. And they did that one night, and they were cool. They both had a cool relationship as far as just hanging out, other than award shows and stuff like that. That's how their relationship was when I came around. How they were doing in 92, 93, I don't know. But they were cordial. Suge did not, even though he profited 50% of that company from Dre, back then, and I bet you even today, he would have still wanted Dre around. But the way it made it seem like Suge forced him out, it may have been, some mental force out, but physical force out, that wasn't Suge plan or desire. Suge would have kept things just as they were if somehow they would have coexist. But Jimmy Iovine made it happen to where he gave him a new label and gave Suge 100% of Deathrow. And I'm not saying Dre would change the hand of the clock, but Suge definitely would. But Dre hitting home runs. And but hey, I get it. I understand why. Because Suge did do the ultimate get back or disrespect to Dre by, the first one will be getting with your wife. But then the second one is being your partner and your friend while I'm with you and getting with your baby mama. And y'all can say what y'all want, but that hurts a man. So yeah, that's my opinion about Dre. But Dre, in my mind, is still the best West Coast producer of all times. Y'all say, oh, you crazy, Reggie. I've been seeing that and been reading that. And I was like, well, what's wrong with these people? Quick is way better than Dre. We did a little segment about that. So y'all made me go do some research for once. I swear I am not a Google or an internet person to go and do research. But I went and did some research for once. I was like, what these kids talking about? Or am I that crazy? Do I not know music? Do I not know what I was listening to in the 90s? John, I sent you a list. Could you read to them names that top hip-hop producers from the mid-90s until probably even now. You can tell me how the list went.
So the list that that we got is Kanye, then Dre, then RZA, DJ Premier, Alchemist, Metro Boomin, Timberland, Just Blaze, Rick Rubin, The Neptunes, Pete Rock, Hit Boy, Pharrell Williams, Havoc, Madlib, Boy Wonder, Q-Tip. Basically, I could name a huge list, but they even got Swiss Beats on here. Ninth Wonder. DJ Quick is probably about on this list anyway, he's about number 20. And Dre is number 2.
Number 2. All right, I thought I didn't know music. This ex-cop, cops can't listen to hip-hop and rap and music or know anything about it. And then a guy that's been in the music business as long as 3 times as long as he ever was a cop. Well, that ain't true. But 2 times. Let's see, I've been in the music business from 97, because I was just security, as y'all say, which I was. But from 97 until 2000, should I say until now? So what's that? 25 years? Is that 25 years? 97 to 25 years, and I was a cop 11 years? Yeah, okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. I done ran 3 different music companies. I done worked for 4. But you don't know what you're talking about, Reggie. But just there show you that, no, Reggie know what he's talking about. Y'all just go off of gut and opinions. And opinion is like an asshole. We all got one. But y'all like to hear facts, there's some paperwork facts. Don't make that true. Don't make that true, but even however they got this source, it put Dre as number 2 behind Kanye and Quick as number 2021. And no shade on Quick, because I love his production and the clarity and stuff. But he's not Dre, y'all.
Ay, candy stove, sweet like sugar. Down south, shot it, she a looker. Ay, from the dirty, let us crooked.